Hey everyone, how's it going? Today we're going to be talking about Ted Lasso Season 4, which has just dropped. I'm a massive fan of the series. I've seen the first 3 seasons probably, I don't know how many times, but I loved Season 1, Season 2. I think they lost their way a little bit in Season 3, but when it ended, everything was sort of wrapped up nicely, and to be honest, I thought that was probably the end of the series. We're going to be looking at Ted Lasso Season 4. We're going to be talking about the story, the returning characters, but I'm going to be trying not to give away any major spoilers or any major cameo appearances or anything that would ruin it for you as a viewer. So I'm a little bit biased. I do love the series, but I was a little bit surprised. They went ahead with it. I wasn't completely convinced it was needed, and I was a little bit worried that they'd made this for cynical reasons. Thankfully, after watching the series, I can say that those fears were put to bed. The season opens with Ted back in the US. He's working as assistant manager in his local supermarket. Now, you can see by the characters on the checkouts and his boss and the people that come into the shop that he's still very respected. He's very trusted. He bumps into one of his old American football players with his family. And again, he was described as one of the most influential role models in his career. So everything at the start of that shows sort of how respected Ted is, and you know, really he's working that job, he's living that life just to be with his son, to be with his family really. And we get introduced to Ted's mum, which is quite interesting as well. So anyway, it's not long before Rebecca and the others pay him a visit to essentially offer him a role as head coach of Richmond women's team. And you know, he's quite committed to turning that down, staying there. He wants to be with his family, and already in the first episode it is heartwarming. It is a nice watch. It does make you feel good. It's an emotional program, you know, it's not just a football program, and we see bits of this straight away, and there's a little bit of torment with Ted thinking, I really wouldn't mind doing that. You see him looking through some of his Richmond memorabilia. And season 1 ends essentially with Ted messaging his ex-wife saying, how do you fancy moving to London? And he gets a reply that says, the change of scenery would be nice. And he goes, how do you think the boy will feel about this? And it's like, well, this is me. And he's like, all right, but mum says yes too. And that sort of sets up the season quite nicely. Instead of trying to recreate the Richmond underdog story, they've been quite clever, I think, going in a different direction, looking at the women's team. And let's remember now, women's football in the UK is absolutely massive. It's now the #1 women's sport. I coach girls football myself, so it's something that I'm quite familiar with. So it's quite interesting to see. So it's the same characters that we know and love in a different challenge, but at the heart of it, it's still the same sort of meanings run throughout the show. So not all of the fan favourites return, which I think again is probably the right thing to do, because I think that would just be paying homage to what's come before. It's moving on with a new story. So I think the characters they brought back into it, I think it's the right decision. And Ted's still the same character. He's still got that infectious optimism, the heart, the warmth, and sort of the awkward charm that sort of made us love that character. And he's sort of using his life experience more so than his football knowledge and ability, as we know, in the right way. And yeah, it doesn't lose the values of the original show. The humour is very good, and it's very consistent with what we've known before. There are some really hilarious laugh out loud moments, and there's funny jokes that get revisited during the series. But I think they're balanced really well with the emotional side too. And when those heartfelt scenes arrive, they're really good. They're really good. And I think with the writing of this show, I think the balance of the comedy, people's life stories, the football team, which is always the heart of the show, and the sort of heartfelt personal moments of these characters living their life as well. I think the writing has always been brilliant, and that's still there. Definitely worth a watch this. Now, negatives, maybe some of the characters take a little while to get used to. We're obviously being introduced to a whole new team. And they do take a while to grow on you, and one or two storylines don't hit the highs of what we've seen before. If you're expecting the freshness of season one Ted Lasso, it's probably an impossible standard for any series like this to reach. But what impressed me most, season four's got a genuine reason to exist. It's got good storylines. It doesn't undo anything that came before it. I think it's an improvement of season three, to be honest. Keeps it fresh. And by the end of the season, I completely understand why the writers just decided to come back. It's not an unnecessary sequel. It's a new chapter. It's a new story. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to more, to be honest with you. I think overall I'm going to give this 8.5. I think this is one series for me, whatever they threw at us, I'd watch it. It's one of those shows that the whole family watch, and we all feel good. We all enjoy watching it. It's something we look forward to, and something we watch back time and time again. And there's some real sort of emotional moments that hit quite hard with characters that we know, with new characters, and there's all sorts of different scenarios that are quite uniquely related to women's football that are covered as well. So I actually think it's quite good. It shines a light on women's football. And the ups and downs and challenges of that as well. Yeah, if you enjoyed this review, I'd love to know what you thought Ted Lasso season 4. Write it down in the comments, and yeah, thank you for watching.